Okay, Sistas fans. So I woke up and I had about 30 messages from people saying, Jeremy, you got to check this out. First of all, congratulations to Sisters for officially being renewed by BET for season 9. Now, on top of that, we got some more news, and that's the fact that Sisters season 9 already has a return date despite not being filmed yet. Now, production begins March 24th. March 24th is when they'll begin filming season 9. The return date is July 16th. Now, a lot of people, when I was reading their messages, it was a link to the Deadline article. It was, a shared post from the Sisters official Instagram page that had this news. And people want to know, Jeremy, what are you thinking? Like, is this too soon? What's going on? Okay. So I have two thoughts about this. Number one, I am happy that we are at least getting a 4-month hiatus. Truth be told, I wouldn't have minded if it was a bit longer. But I am glad that we'll have time to kind of breathe and just get these seasons behind us, season 7 and 8. However, I do feel I am giving it the side eye, like, good and well, if season 9 had already been filmed, they probably would have started as like, oh, Sisters will return on April 16th. It's like, wait, what? I feel like they would do something like that, where a hiatus would barely be visible, if not just a month or less. But I feel like this hiatus should have been longer. Now, I theorized sometime around August, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I said July too. I didn't give specific dates. I said that, yeah, since they're filming in March, we probably won't see the show return until like late summer or something. And I was kind of right. But keep in mind, July 16th, they're just announcing this date. So we've seen in the past that when they give us a return date, the date, I take it with a grain of salt, because sometimes they might push it back. Sometimes they might push it forward. It all depends on circumstances that, happen outside of our control. Like, I don't know, maybe another show gets canceled. Maybe they want to get their ratings back up quickly. Who knows? But all I got to say is, thank goodness we actually have an actual hiatus. Not we'll see you in 2 weeks or we'll see you in 1 month. We have 4 solid months to let this show simmer. Now, tonight is the big night, and it's unclear as to whether or not it's going to be a good one. Now, I will take some information from the Post and on Deadline. Let's see here. While you wait for season 9, set your reminders for the season finale tonight. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm trying to do a voice of the narrator. Coming tonight. Okay, sorry about that. Now, this is your warning. Tonight, everything changes. I'm not holding my breath. I'm not holding my breath. You can say what you want about me being negative and all, but I'm being realistic based off of what this season has shown us so far. How many times have we been promised everything changes? You've never seen anything like this yet. There's nothing to write home about. Now, in terms of Deadline, we do get a bit more information about what's going to go down tonight. Let's see. In tonight's season finale, the Sisters experience newfound money and success, no doubt in reference to Andy with her partner position, Danny with her legal windfall of, what was it, $75,000, right? $75,000. But situations in their personal lives attempt to derail their happiness. In this episode, Andy must decide whether or not she wants to make things work with Robin before he possibly walks out of her life forever. Sabrina finally gets closure from an old lover on the heels of her having to make a decision about her and Rich. The outcome of Danny's lawsuits threatens her and Tony's future. How does it Okay, I'm sorry. I'll read. Karen and Fatima become closer than they could have ever imagined, and Gary's investigation comes to a head with shocking reevaluations. I don't know. The closure of an old lover. Well, okay, they did have sex a few times, so better to say old lover than an old ex, because whatever. Not to mention, like we said last week, and like I mentioned in a video I just posted, what was the purpose of Calvin coming back? I don't really get what kind of closure was needed, because there was nothing. Like Teddy P, closed the door, but guess what? There was no door that needed to be closed. Like, Calvin left because he had every right to leave, and Sabrina had already been dating Rich for 3 months, so there really was no need for him to just twiddle his thumbs hoping that Sabrina would eventually come around. She didn't want the dude, so this whole closure thing feels repetitive, senseless, and let's be real here. If Rich is taken back by Sabrina, that makes no sense. I think I mentioned this in my lengthy episode review from last week, or my trailer breakdown, that when it comes to these women, they can only be okay with with a man no longer in their life if they were the ones to make that decision. Remember, Danny initially said, I need some space, but Tony's like, no, I'm not doing this half-ass thing where it's one foot in the door and one door out. Either we're together or we're not. So he, left her key, and then that was it. He broke up with her. Now it's like, oh, he's running back to her and he's proposing. Now she gets the chance to say no, and then, rejected. Then when it comes to Rich, he rightfully got up from the table, because the moment Sabrina said, I choose me, if that isn't the indicator of a breakup, I don't know what is. But now, a month after ghosting her, Sabrina pops up on him at his juice shop, and yet again, we have Rich randomly running to Sabrina's apartment. And we know he's going to catch her and Calvin hugging, and he's probably going to get an attitude about it. So that's when he's going to be defending his territory, like, I still love you, girl. You're my girl. And it's like, wait, what? So now Sabrina could use the excuse of, Rich, you ghosted me for a month, and I'm in here getting closure from an old friend, Calvin, and you haven't changed. So I could definitely see where the Sabrina and Danny could stick it to their exes on their own terms and then walk off without a care in the world, because these men reduce themselves to simps by running to their apartments, and they can graciously refute their desires to get back together and then kick them out of their homes once and for all. That would be messed up. Yeah, and in terms of Danny's lawsuit threatening her and Tony's future, I don't see how it would. No, there's no need for these two to even try to reconcile. The only thing they need to do is both agree to be cordial at the workplace. And honestly, with Tony being VP, he doesn't really have a good reason to go over to Danny's kiosk anymore. It's like, look, if it's like a big work meeting or anything, like, hey, I'll look straightforward. I won't even look at you, that kind of thing. But I don't really see the point. Now, in terms of Karen and Fatima becoming closer than they could have ever imagined, I think it's safe to say that could be in relation to her having her babies at the house or going into labor at the house, and Zach might not even be there. So yikes. Gary's investigation comes to a head with shocking. Yeah, I don't, whatever. If we find out about the stabbing, oh well, but like a lot of fans, I don't care, because this is the last flipping episode and they done stretched this out for far too long. So I don't know. This is ridiculous. So with that being said, that's pretty much all I have to say. We talked about the start date of production of season 9, the return date for season 9, or the start date for season 9. And I did some math here. So if season 9 begins on July 16th, then that means, without any sort of random breaks here, the first half of the season, assuming it's 22 episodes total, so 11 and 11, the mid-season finale would drop on September 24th of this year. So that would be the last Wednesday in September, which is kind of ironic because season 9 begins filming on March 24th. So then for the mid-season finale to be September 24th, kind of cool. So let me know if you're excited about season 9, getting renewed, returning in July. Do you think it should be sooner? Do you think it should be later? Or are you just like, look, I don't care? And I just feel like, yet again, if the show had already been filmed, there is no doubt in my mind they would have been rushing to get season 9 out sometime in April, if not sooner than that. But 4 months is a long time, and I feel like Beyond the Gates will continue to gain steam. Other, shows will pop up on streaming platforms, and Sistas might be left in the dust. But as we've said on this channel a number of times, season 9 better cook it up, because folks are just ready for something different at this point. But like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all in the next video.